pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The Lincoln County Commission meeting, a regular session on June 6th at 6 p.m. Members present are Darrell Baker, clerk, Charles Vance, president, Charles McKean, commissioner, Kerry Matthews Jr., commissioner. The meeting was called to order by Mary Napper. I need a motion to approve the minutes of the regular session of the Lincoln County Commission meeting that was held on May 16th, 2013 at 6 p.m.
I move.
Second.
Oh, yes?
Yes.
And this time it's the public comments.
Is there anyone that would like to speak now who's not on the agenda? David?
Yes, I wanted to inform the commission that the conservation district, Lincoln County, we're looking at a couple proposals for possible trout impoundment. One's in a public stream, and one will be another on private property. And we're just moving forward with that, and I just want to let everybody know we are working on that, and as things develop, I'll keep you informed.
Well, thank you, David. Did you want to speak?
Yes, sir. I just wanted to introduce myself. I'm Larry Crawford. I'm the new administrator at the Western Regional Jail, and just wanted to let you know that here we're interested in your needs and what we could do things better for you.
Appreciate you coming by. Really.
Okay.
Anyone else?
My name's Bob Matthews. I wanted to speak a minute about the Hatfield McCoy Trail. I understand you have consideration to make part of McCorkle Road, Hatfield McCoy Trail. Have that under consideration. I would be totally opposed to making all of McCorkle Road a Hatfield McCoy Trail.
Anyone else? If no one else has any comments, we'll go on with our agenda. Under discussion of concerns and possible actions, bid for monument work. Mr. Matthews?
We received a quote for 3 pieces of property earlier on this year, and we only need to mow 1 piece of property, and that's at the monument, and trim work for the shrubs. And I think we probably need to put this out to bid.
I'm going to make a motion to
I
that.
move to put this out to bid.
Is there a
Monument work.
Is there a second?
Second.
Is that an all yes?
Yes.
Next on the agenda is Kenneth Bailey regarding road paving.
This, I don't see, he came in the other day, he had, I sent you an email, I think, regarding, remember that? But, I'm not seeing that, that was part of the road.
Is he going to like submit something in writing?
He
to
was
us?
wanting to know if we could help him get the plans, like, I don't know the area that he was talking about, but apparently when he talked to the people that were paving that day, and they said they were gonna go all the way, but instead they took a turn and went this way, and he wanted to know if we could help him get the original plans to see if it was actually supposed to go all the way, and they that they made a mistake, it should have went this way instead of that way. I asked Mr. McCain, he seemed to think Mr. McCain knew about it, or
Rick?
I've got a little information. I don't know. Has he talked to you, Charles, about it?
He never did call me. I kept thinking he might, but he did not.
Okay, this is what he talked to me. I haven't talked to the state road, so I'm not sure exactly. But it sounded like the state road was gonna pave Flat Creek Road, which goes off the left fork.
Has it already been paved before?
Yes.
Okay.
They're gonna repave it. And apparently 911 has renamed Sycamore, which is where Kenneth lives. There's no Sycamore anymore. That's part of Flat Creek. And instead of going up the old Sycamore Road, they continued up Bar Camp. So they paved Bar Camp to the top of the hill rather than making the left-hand turn and going up Sycamore, which is now Black Creek.
Did
So
he
his
call-
concern was whether the people who were paving didn't really know what they were
Right.
supposed to do, and they just thought, well, the road goes straight and doesn't turn. He would-
We
he
could
would like
send a
some
letter
help.
to Dennis, Dennis will probably know that. Well, what we'll do, we'll go ahead and send a letter to the
Okay.
Department of Highways, Dennis Lawson, and ask him to, if it was done correctly, or if that there's some concern about people over there that it might not have been done in the proper area. Yeah.
I'll make a motion, we send that letter.
Is there a
I say,
second? No,
Yes.
I'll thank you on this,
yeah. Well, at least we'll know, you know, because having dealt with AEP, it wouldn't surprise me that you didn't look around all. The next on the agenda is Kathy Smith. I hope there's nobody from AEP here. Kathy Smith and Wayne Pruitt regarding Big Ugly Community Center.
Yes,
Well, go ahead.
yes, sir. I was asked by the Associated Time Work with Step by Step, it's a nonprofit organization. I was trying to try to obtain some funds because our lighting issue at the community center is so poorly lit, we're unable for the children to do the work. So we work primarily on grants and donations. And, you know, with cutbacks and stuff, we've been unable to receive these funds. So I said I presented the estimates and stuff like that. You know, any help would greatly be appreciated.
And you are a nonprofit, right?
Yes, sir. Nonprofit.
And I think it's like was it $549?
I give the copy there yesterday.
$549.
Yes, sir.
Is there two here? It looks like $599 and $549.
The cheapest one,
Oh, okay.
cheapest
So
I
you
just
get
got
$549.
3 estimates.
Sure, okay.
Would there be a motion of commission to go ahead and give him that?
I'll
No,
move.
he submitted all the proper
I'll do
paperwork.
it with the line.
Is there a second?
yeah, I say,
Is that all yes?
yes.
All right, got it. Thank you guys for getting that in and everything like that. That really helps
That
us.
does it.
Next on the agenda is a written request from Jerry Swanson regarding purchasing new furniture and paint.
Yeah, you have they just come in and said that they want to paint their office and a new desk. The desk is $259.99, and then however many, a couple gallons of paint. However.
What's the council's wish?
I moved it with the line.
I say,
Then all yes? Next item on the agenda is to terminate the existing contract between Government Services of West Virginia and Lincoln County Commission. This was a contract that was entered in by the commission with Government Services of West Virginia. I think it was in
2009,
originally in 2009, yes.
well,
And
2012 too.
Okay, now, there was also, does this include the contract that was in May? Was it May that we signed the contract?
March.
March 12th, March 12th, 2012,
Okay.
I think that's what it said.
I think this would have to be done under if this is terminating the contract for the services for the whole year that they were supposed to provide, and this is for Mr. Brumfield's, it's two different contracts.
I think the one in 2009 was specifically for Sheldon Tucker. The one in 2012 was to Government Services of West Virginia. And this is for Mr. Brumfield.
Okay,
we
so
need to
this
terminate
is the one that's on the agenda for tonight to be terminated if it's the commission's will, and we can always bring the other up at another meeting later on.
that. I move.
Is there a second?
I will second and just make note in the record that we may owe some monies for this contract, some amount of work she has completed, I'm not sure.
Okay, I'll check with Mr. Brumfield and see if we can get it, and I'll have, Mary, if you can go ahead and contact Shelby and see what she says as far as what she says she owes us, and we'll confirm that with Mr. Brumfield, and we'll deal with that at the next meeting. And we'll go ahead and put on the next agenda for the termination of the other services,
Okay.
Shelby's services. Next, we've had a bid from Mark Bowen CPA to do the CPA, the business accounts for the commission. He's listed what he would do, and I think all of y'all have had a copy of that sent to you. Would there be I think, was the bid for $11,000?
Bid was for $11,000. It'll save us about $6,000 a year.
Is there a motion to accept Mark Bowen's bid?
I move.
Second.
Is that an all yes?
Yes.
Doctor, you sign this original one.
In that motion, you guys give me authority to sign this thing, if it's all right. Does that sound okay? Can we amend it to that? Just to sign it.
Amend that motion.
Ready to authorize the signature of the motion.
I'm gonna say that, that's all it is. Thank you. Next on the agenda is Chief Napier. Or, I
First
guess
of all,
Napa, excuse me.
I'll say Napper, but that's fine, sir. President Vance, Commissioner Matthews, Commissioner McCann, Mr. Napper, Mr. Baker. First of all, I thank you folks for letting me come in and speak tonight. What I'm coming to you tonight for, two topics. First is home confinement and courthouse security. Every other county in the great state of West Virginia, I might add, is supervised, home confinement is supervised through the sheriff's office. Our county is not. It is supervised by Jerry Swanson, Chief Probation Officer. I'm not sure through the history why it was ever taken out of the Sheriff's Department. I don't know the reason, but I've asked and not really been given a definite reason why it was moved. The reason that we would like to take back control of home confinement, one thing for the boys' safeties. They don't carry a weapon. Officer Chandler, Officer Lovejoy goes into these homes with a stick and a can of spray. That's all they got. They're by themselves. Every night of the week, when we're in the bed, these guys are out doing their job, checking homes. Again, with a stick and a can of spray is all they have. The first thing that the sheriff's office would do would be immediately put those guys in training where they will be allowed to carry a firearm. I have contacted several sheriff's departments. That training is simple. It is 2 weeks or 3 weeks worth of training. Then they are covered with no liability to no one to carry a sidearm with them. That gets me to courthouse security. Now, these guys pretty well fund themselves. They're going to have the funds there. We can call it home confinement / protective services. There's enough money in their budget right now that they can hire another home confinement officer / protective services. We can place that individual that we hire, use him throughout our sheriff's department. We can place him at the back door. We can put an armed guard at the back door 5 days a week. As things progress, we can hire another home confinement / protective service worker. The great thing is, this is no cost to no one. This is coming out of their funds that they generate. It is a win for the sheriff's department because, I don't know if you've been reading the paper, but we are going at it. And these guys go at it. So we can team up with them. Big team. Sheriff Farley is all about teamwork. His heart is into this county. All this man worries about is making Lincoln County better for the citizens of Lincoln County. His same commitment to his deputies and his employees and the citizens of Lincoln County, he will commit to the home confinement office. Officer Chandler, Officer Lovejoy will stay doing what they do. They will be doing their home checks. They'll be doing scheduling. They'll be making sure that once people place on home confinement, that they are on home confinement. So I want you to understand that real clearly. We're not going to remove Officer Chandler and Officer Lovejoy from their responsibilities in no way. And that's where I think it's in our best interest, it's in the Commission's best interest, and it's also in the county's best interest that we, as the Sheriff's Department, are giving back home confinement. Thank you, gentlemen, very much, and ma'am. And if you have any questions, I'll feel free to do what I can.
I don't know, the question I need some time to think through. First of all, has there been open discussion with the people upstairs?
Yes, I forgot that. Thank you, Mr. McCann. I apologize. It is my understanding Chief Hensley has went up and spoken with Mr. Swanson. Officer Chandler went today and had a meeting with Mr. Swanson. And all Mr. Swanson's concern was is that they stay doing what they do. And as someone standing before you who I'm a man of my word, tell you right now, and Sheriff Farley will tell you that those guys will do what they do. That's all they will do. And that was Mr. Swanson's only concern.
And the other would be, if we're the money that's generated is paid, I guess what I know about it, is paid from the people who is under that system of home confinement. They pay a fee.
They do, sir.
And we'd have, I think, make sure we don't spend that money that's collected for home confinement to another source without having somebody say that's okay to do that.
Well, that's the reason I talked to these other sheriff's departments. Once that home confinement goes back under the sheriff department umbrella, then those services can be used for the sheriff's department. And that's the reason we want to call them home confinement / protective service workers. But we can look into that, but it's my understanding for example, Boone County has 5 home confinement officers. They use 2 to do home checks. They have 1 who is designated to do nothing but watch prisoners on court day. They have another that does nothing but serve papers, process server. And then they have 1 who transports meal hygienes. So they use 3 home confinement officers who they don't have to pay because they generate their own funds in other areas in Boone County. Logan County and Cabell County follow suit with that. Their guys, they use them in a variety of situations.
And we're, home confinement, is it housed now in the annex building?
It is housed down in the building.
And that's where it would be continued?
Yes.
And you have somebody supervise that? Will that be your job?
That will be my job with Sheriff Farley's job.
Everybody has to have somebody supervise.
Yes. And when we have our monthly meetings or weekly meetings that we have, they will come in with our meetings. And Officer Chandler, he's been here the longest, so he's going to be more or less the supervisor / worker of this program as well. So I will be in contact with Officer Chandler each day.
Well, I think that you and the sheriff need to be commended trying to come up with ways to be more efficient and provide more, broader services. I just don't want to, for my sake, do anything that would offend Mr. Swanson, because he stepped up and does all this voluntary to help us. Because,
Yes.
and back when it did happen,
Yes.
We used to have the board where the sheriff sat on it, and I sat on as a commissioner, and Mr. Swanson sat on representing the court to decide how home confinement funds would be spent. And after a while, somewhere, I won't say which, but somewhere the sheriff didn't keep focus on that. And
Right.
ended up just the commission and Mr. Swanson pretty much running the whole program. And really him running the whole program with our support. And I wouldn't want to do anything that would offend him, but at the same time, I don't want to do anything that would offend you guys either, because it's a good deal, but I think I'd like to at least have opportunity to speak with him, maybe, if that's agreeable.
That is agreeable, but in his words, that would take a load off of him where he does a lot.
No doubt.
So that was his words today in the meeting, that he spoke with Officer Chandler, and, because he had a meeting with those guys today.
So he had a lot more time to focus on drug court, if you know.
That was my thoughts as far as, I know that's his baby right now, he really likes working with that, and that's a very important part of what he'd be doing.
And it's growing.
And
it's growing.
Yeah, it's going to get bigger, and when we talked with our judge here a while back too, he was also saying the same thing.
Now, if we're going to meet at the end of the month,
Yeah, what I was going to suggest, do you have anything you want to add right now?
I just think you're streamlining the offices. I mean, you're providing solutions for problems that we have.
We're trying.
And I think it sounds good. I think it's good, from what you're telling me. And it seems like that Mr. Swanson, Mr. Chandler's on board with it. And if the sheriff, if that's what he wants to do, I don't have a problem with it all. We'll put it on the agenda for next meeting if you want.
That's what we'll do. We'll go ahead and put it on the agenda for the next meeting to approve or not. I want to commend you and the sheriff also. I know you and I have kind of talked a little bit about this already, and I think anytime we can, not only does it save money, but it's also a safer way for these officers to operate. Plus, it also makes it, we also handle one of the problems we have with security here, till we know how much money we have as far as handling it differently. But I think it's a good idea, and we'll put that on the agenda for our next meeting, which will be the 27th of June at 10 a.m. So, and we will deal with that then. Does that sound all right to you, Sheriff?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Thank you all very much for letting me speak.
Thank you, Chief. I haven't really got to talk to y'all about this. The next on the item is unfinished business, possible action. Dignity Hospice had requested a $1,500 donation to their annual memorial walk on September 21st, 2013 at Chief Logan State Park. Do y'all want to do anything about that now, or you want to wait to see how much money we're going to have available? Or?
I would suggest we sort of wait.
Okay, could I?
We have until September.
Right, that's what I said.
Yeah.
Could I just a motion to table this?
Table this. Excuse me, I moved the table.
Second.
Is that an all yes? Next on the agenda is Rick McDowell and Ryan Jefferson Left Fork Water Project.